What is going on, everybody? I am back with a brand new video, and today we're going to be testing out some flippy distance drivers. Today I have brought out some of my favorites. Got two halo turns, two halo mambas, which is really what I'm most excited about. And of course I brought out my Hades. So we're gonna give these a few rips, hyzer, flat, maybe some anhyzer like sky shots, and just see kind of how these fly. Again, I think the mambas are what I'm really excited to kind of compare with the other two, because I don't really throw these a whole lot, but I have two in the collection, so I figured it'd be kind of fun to put these 11 speeds up to the 12s. Let's give them a few rips. The Hades and the turn that come in at 12.6, -3.2, but the Mamba 11.5, -5.1, -5. Is this thing an absolute bomber in this halo plastic? There's potential. I'm gonna start semi-flat here just to see how understable that Mamba compares to the Hades and the turn. I'll try to give this like at least 80% power, try to get them to turn over a little bit, and then we'll try to throw some hyzer flips where I'll throw a little bit harder. But right now I just want to see, is that Mamba really going to turn over that easily? There's the Hades, kind of like a really subtle turn, and I think that's just short of the goalpost. Maybe a little anhyzer. Definitely turned a whole lot more than the Hades did. And I'm kind of terrified to check out these Mambas. A little bit more height than that so we can see that the true turn if it does. Well, that kind of flew like the turn actually. Mamba one more time just to see if I can give it a little bit more height, see if it turns over more. Because that one kind of flew like the turn, even though the turn might have come out on a little Annie. That kind of late flip turnover. Pretty subtle there though. Not sure if that came out a little hyzer. I'm sure you guys will let me know. I'm gonna check how far they went. All right, yeah, 277 with the turn. Didn't really give it the best of efforts because threw it a little low and it turned the entire time. So obviously the distance isn't gonna be great. And I'll be honest with you, I think I mentioned that I was gonna try to go 80%. I don't even know if that was 80% though. I felt like I wasn't trying that hard. I'm hitting 330 with the Hades, and the Hades got a beautiful, nice little subtle flight out of it. So you can tell you don't have to throw it that hard. 330 feet of distance, you know, isn't that far, but you kind of got that ideal flight out of it. And the Mamba is gonna be about the same. A little bit further at 341. Easy distance, I would say, for 341. I'm interested to see how much hyzer we can put on these bad boys, you know, and push over that 360 mark, hopefully into the 370s, 380s would be great. Very calm day out here today also, so it's a perfect day to bring out some flippy stuff, especially if we're looking for true flights. Same order, Hades turn, and then the Mamba. This time, little hyzer flips. My favorite shot in disc golf. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This time I'm really gonna try to put a move on them. Maybe we'll get lucky and hit a 400, who knows. This is really what I'm looking for out of these discs. Kind of the bomber shot. That's what's nice about understable drivers in my opinion. There we go. You need to see how that baby cruises right. That was a great shot. That's my favorite Hades. I bagged that one specifically. Now we'll have the turn, try to give it the same hyzer. That's way too low. The hyzer flip is just beautiful out of them though. If I get that a little higher, it's gonna be perfect. Just seems like they flip up so easily, especially being high speed. Sometimes that higher speed's hard to flip up, but these discs, seems like that's exactly what they want to do. There we go. Maybe a little high. Please don't hit the scoreboard. Woo! Maybe a little short of 360. Now we have what could be true bombers here. The Mamba. The Mambas feel a little weird, especially after throwing the 12 speeds, just because the rim isn't as wide. Oh yeah, it just takes off. It's like a true turnover driver. So a little bit more height. Unfortunately, we didn't really get a good rip with the Mamba. Definitely gonna be the most touchy out of them all. And regardless, all three of these discs could become touchy for you. Just because hyzer flips, you're letting the disc do the work, which means you really gotta learn that disc on each angle, basically. And how hard you need to throw it. Because if you throw them too hard, they're just gonna turn over on you and you're not gonna be a happy camper. That's kind of the reason that sometimes I don't throw a whole lot of flippy stuff, especially when I'm trying to score well, because there's a lot of stable drivers like Zeus's that I know aren't gonna ever really turn over on me, and I can still get them about the same distance, I feel like. So when I'm on the course, usually I'll just pull a Zeus out and sacrifice maybe that 20 feet of distance that I could have gotten with like a Hades. Mamba honestly isn't horrible. We got 367, and that's with the newer Mamba. I don't know what year this is, maybe just last year, honestly, but these things turned out sick in the Halo plastic. Now, in my opinion, if you're gonna get a Mamba and you already have a little bit faster of an arm speed, I don't know for certain, but I would have to imagine getting it in Halo plastic might be better, just so it's a tad more stable and it doesn't just turn into a complete roller for you, especially, you know, if you got it to throw air shots. The turn is right before the goalpost, so I'm not even gonna mark that. But this Hades, right underneath the sign, I'm hitting at 391 feet. Kind of impressive, I like that. All right, so we've thrown these, I think I've thrown 6 shots now. We realize they're gonna turn, hopefully by now, in this point in the video, but now I want to throw some like sky Annie shots. It kind of feels like we have a subtle left to right wind, which should carry these even more, but we'll try to start these off on this left side of the goalpost. I'm kind of expecting at least the Mamba, if anything, should land kind of in the middle of that scoreboard or by those trees down there. I'm curious to see if we can hold these over for that long, just because we want to throw Annie. With understable, it doesn't mean I have to put them on a ton of anhyzer. I don't want these to roll, I just want these to float and slide, basically. Nope. That was bad because it hit my chest. Always nice having duplicates, especially if you're an amateur. There we go. Slides, and that's that flat finish. That's too much anhyzer, that's gonna cut roll. There we go. That's actually gonna come out because it was a little bit too high. Yeah, I'm in between giving them basically too much or just too little. There we go. Wow, it actually started to fight out at the end. It's a little shocking. Like the Hades stayed on it the whole way, and with the Mamba, you could kind of see it start to sway back. I just pulled that one. I mean, it seems like they go forever, in all honesty. All right, guys, we kind of tested all the angles today. Got some decent flights, got some very ugly flights, but it is kind of cool seeing the -5 against the -3 turn. These two molds are, you know, I've had a lot of experience with them. The Mambas, they just seem to take off. I really believe that it could be like extremely easy distance, a bomber disc, but there's a lot of variables like speed, angle. If you don't put this on the right angle, it's just gonna take off on you and not really go anywhere. That being said, if you take a little less power off of them, you know, you get a really nice flight out of them, I feel like. Turns in Hades, I'll always suggest, always love. Just depends if you're an Innova guy, a Hades guy. You could tell on those Annie shots, it was either I put them on too much anhyzer or they're just gonna kind of fade out on me. That could happen with any of these though, depending on how hard you throw them and your angles. But yeah, flippy drivers, what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. I love a good flippy distance driver. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one.